Hey guys, Frank here, your virtual general aviation aviator, and today I am in the Wilga, the the Polish-made Wilga, Wilga, Wilga. And since it's got GA in the spelling, and I'm a GA pilot, then all right, you're not buying it. I'm not selling it. All right, so today I spun in at Durango, and I'm going to take a flight to Telluride. Now, look at the terrain, guys. I'm in a naturally aspirated little bitty four-seater, and the terrain goes up to 14,600 feet. Can you believe it? And I would imagine that that's about right here. And my flight path shows that it takes me over roughly about 13,700 feet. So I don't want to go that way. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick a path through. Let me bring up my iPad here. My plan for this flight is to kind of follow this. What is that? A railroad track? I think this is a railroad track. So and in a river maybe is there a river there? In any case, I am planning to kind of follow um, up through this path here and work my way. Don't move. Lock in place now. Um, my pen stopped. Work my way, I guess, around here and maybe even through this little valley here over to Telluride. That's the plan. My alternate is if I get there and things are not looking good in my little Lycoming 540 260 horsepower engine, then my alternative might be to uh, change the color of the ink to fly up around here and come back in that way. Actually, probably be around that way, but you get the idea. So that's the plan, and that's gonna add significant time to this. What 49 nautical miles um, in the aircraft. I don't have the aircraft profile in the iPad, so I don't know how long it's going to take. But if um, if my speed is about 95, then it's going to take at least 30 minutes. And since I'm not flying as the crow fly, then I suspect that it'll take probably an hour. Okay, so let's get rid of this guy and let's bring our aircraft back. And so you guys see what the plan is. And just as a point of information, I'm also mapping this flight with Volanta. So if you guys haven't tried Volanta yet, and it's a pretty cool app. You can download it, install it for free, and all the flights that you make, it will track. So since I've installed it, all of these pink dots you see on the map are either airports that I've spun in at or landed at. And if I've actually flown the route, then it shows you the actual route that I've flown. If I put in a flight plan, it'll actually show the flight plan. You know, what I like about it is it's literally a set and forget app. Now, um, I can elect to, and this is not about this app, but I thought I'd take a moment to show it to you. I can elect to add my own flight plan to it, so it can see exactly what where I'm flying. Let's see, right now, let's see, flight plan. Um, I probably need to add a flight plan. Okay, so let me just do that because I don't like what I'm seeing. Add a new flight plan. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Durango and Telluride. And I am not going to add a flight plan because I would have to literally use, given the plan that I'm flying, a bunch of not GPS, but longitude, latitude waypoints in order to build a flight plan. Anyway, so now that I've got that running in the background, and it loads. Um, I got mine, so it loads whenever I start my computer. So it's truly a set and forget system. Uh, and if I can remember, I will pull it back up during or once I finish this flight. All right. So again, this is the Wilga by Thranda, and this is my very own paint scheme. So this one ought to be fairly unique, and I should have. I don't see my call sign on there. You know, the FAA will not let you fly without a call sign. So I wonder what happened to that. So let's go and fix that. Shouldn't take but a second. There it is there. And maybe it's on the other side. It deserves a little peek, right? Uh, don't see it. Don't see it. So let's click this button beside it. Edit. Come on. Edit. I don't want to spend a lot of time doing stuff that should already be done. Uh, Gee whiz, I hit the apply button. So it ought to finish up in just a second. In the meantime, um, I think what happened with the call sign, the N number, is that there it is that when X-Plane loads up, it literally have to read thousands and thousands and thousands of files. Most of the files that make up X-Plane are extremely small files, and sometimes it might just miss reading a file. Anyway, we're flying 7556 whiskey, and I bet I won't remember that. I should probably write that down. So that's what I'm gonna do. 7556 whiskey. Um, and now that that's done, let's just check my weight and balance. Okay, so I'm flying, and there are two of us. That's me, and I got my partner in the right seat. He's a 200-pound guy, and as you can see, I've got four tanks. Lo and behold, I really don't need four tanks for this flight. So let's call it the fuel truck. I wonder if we can get some of this gas out. Um, let's see the. Oh, there we go. So we'll just peel off a few gallons here. All right, 33.7, and that um, changes my screen went blank for a second, but that changes my weight and balance envelope. Um, Now, this airport that I'm at, Durango, I think it has an elevation of 50. Let's see, I think it has an elevation of 66 um, 100 feet, actually closer to 6,700 feet, 6689 to be exact. And and so let's go ahead and jump in our cockpit here. And so yeah, we and Telluride is even higher. I think Telluride has an elevation of I want to say 9,000 and something, but I may be wrong, so I'm not gonna say it without looking it up first. Oh, there we go. There we go. Telluride. Yeah, 9,070 feet. So yeah, it's about a mile, about a mile and a half, or at least a mile and a half in the air. All right. And one more thing that we need to do is we need to get rid of all our tie downs before we get this guy started. And let's see, and I take these chucks, get well, those are our brakes. Make sure our chucks are off, and they are. Okay, we're good. All right, man, we know that our brakes are set. All right, and so let's get this guy started. First thing we're going to do is open the fuel valve and turn on our beacon light. And you see what our yoke look like. There's nothing really on the yoke. Um, so for right now, I'm going to turn it off. I may wind up turning it back on at some point. Uh, but um, but hopefully, if I well, you might be able to see me do some of the work on the yoke. All right, so let's get these guys set, and let's get our battery on. Let me turn everything off, and now we get our main battery turned on, which is this guy here, and our mags are not hot, so let's push our fuel meter in, prop in, and throttle in, and back it out, and push it in a quarter. Pull this guy out and back in, and we got very little throw on these um, on these um, le levers. All right, so this is my fuel pump, and I see that my fuel pressure did come up. I'm gonna toggle that off so that you can see it. If you watch, uh, left that map up, didn't I? Okay, so if you watch this gauge here, then you'll see the fuel pump go off and on, and so I know I got positive fuel pressure. And now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna prime it a little bit. This could be totally wrong, but I'm gonna go back to my 1/4 inch. I'm gonna pour this fuel mixture all the way out and go ahead and clear my prop. I don't see anybody out there. Clear prop. All right. So, and we know our brake is set. All right. So, mags are hot now. All right. And I'm gonna back out a little bit so I can see what's going on. So go for rich, and this is my RPMs, and I want to be right about where I'm at, and pop over here and make sure that my oil pressure has come up, and it has. This is the oil pressure here, cylinder head temp over here. Let's see, let me pop over there so you guys can see it a little better. And no, I'm sorry. This is my cylinder head temp, and this is outside air temperature. It's 40 degrees Celsius, so it's pretty comfortable day. And gee whiz, that just kind of popped up. So to about 56, 57 degrees. So what I need to do is get my let it idle so stuff will heat up. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn my alternator on. And this guy right here is my alternator. Actually, I can turn my fuel pump off for right now. All right, so this is my alternator, and right now what it's showing me are my amps, and so I'm not really, I'm actually pulling negative amps, but that'll change when I turn my alternator on. So let's get the alternator turned on, which would be this button here. All right, so I got my alternator on, and now you can see how I got positive amps. And if I want to see my gauge, my voltage, then I need to press this button, and looks like I'm right at about 28 volts. Okay, and suction is working. It's low, but I'm on a low idle at the moment. All right, so I am at 6600, so I am going to pour my mixture out until I hear my engine try to die, and then I will push it back in. Keep an eye, incidentally, on this exhaust temperature as I pull it out. Okay, so this is my peak here. So now I'm going to push it back in and let it settle about right here. Actually, I don't. Yeah, let it settle about right here. So this is about where I should be at this altitude. All right, so let's get our avionics turned on. Now, fortunately, we got one button that's controlling all of our avionics, and it's labeled equipment. So let's go ahead and turn that on. And voila, avionics. We got our GPS. I'm not going to even bother to program the GPS except for the what do you call it? The radio. So I want 122.8 for Durango, and Telluride is going to be the tower frequency is 123.0. So let's flip it and bring this down. Bring the small one to 1 to 0, 0. Since I was at 7, it's faster to go up. All right, and so now I got my tower on standby, and let's get ATOS, ASOS, AWAS, whatever the case may be, for Durango, and we do have an ASOS frequency. Um, and for any of you guys who don't know the difference between AWAS, AWOS, and ASOS, then one of them stands for Automated Surface Observation Service, and the other one stands for um, Automated Weather Observation um, Service or System. Now, you actually get a little bit more information with the ASOS than you do with the AWAS. So just keep that in mind. All right, the frequency that we want to dial in for ASOS is 120.62. All right, so let's dial this guy up to 62 and bring this guy up to 120. All right, flip him in and turn on COM 2, and let's hope we get some
Durango La Plata
weather.
Wind calm.
Calm.
Visibility more than 10. Sky clear. Temperature 11.
We just need an altimeter.
6. Altimeter 3030.
Okay, wind calm and altimeter is 3030, and the dew points were far enough apart.
Visibility more than 10.
Let's see what the dew points
Sky
are.
clear. Temperature 11. Dew point 6. Altimeter 303.
Yeah, temperature 11, dew point 6. So that's a 5-point spread. So it's some moisture in the air. Yeah, quite a bit of moisture in the air. So density, altitude may be an issue. That means it's, it could be pretty humid, and when it's hot and humid, then density, altitude is an issue. Now it's hard for me to fathom it being so hot. Well, let me put this altimeter in while I'm thinking about it. 3030, and the 6689 is what we had. So this is 66, 67, 69. So we're about 20 feet off. 3030. Yeah. So about 20 feet. I can live with that. These airports are not perfectly flat, and the altitude that I get on the chart is at one point on the airport, and I could be at a whole different point where it's either higher or lower. Okay, so back to the temperatures, and this one may show us both Fahrenheit and Celsius. In fact, earlier I said it was 58 degrees Celsius, and I was absolutely wrong. It's about 13 degrees Celsius and looks like about 55 degrees Fahrenheit. This is my Fahrenheit scale, and this is my Celsius scale at the bottom. All right, so I keep that in mind as I get more and more familiar with this aircraft. All right, so let's get our taxi light on, and we had a strobe on. So now that we're getting ready to taxi, we can actually turn it off. And it would be helpful to know where the airport is. Now we got runways. We got runways 21 and 3. Winds are calm, so it doesn't really make much difference which way we go. which runway we take off from. Um, and since we're flying northerly, let's go ahead and take off on O3. All right. So let's release our brake. And one thing that I have not found in this aircraft is the brake release. Um, in all honesty, I still haven't read the manual. Maybe could this be it? Nope, that's not it. Anyway, I'm not going to spend any time looking for the brake release. And I am going to take off with the mixture lean for this altitude, so I can get the best power out of it. And let's absolutely check our trim, and it's set for takeoff, so we are good there. All right. So one way that I know to release the brake is to do it here, and let me just check something else. I may learn something. Could this be my brake? Nope, that's not my brake. Brake, wait a minute, brake on. All right, click that guy. Well, pressing my rudders releases pressing the foot brakes will release them. So I have to keep that in mind. For a while, I thought this was my brake, but this releases a toe. So, okay. So let's find our yellow brick road. Now, this guy is a tail dragger with differential braking, and quite frankly, some days I have no problem managing the taxi, and some days I have the hardest time in the world managing taxi. All right, so since I got all this traffic up here, then I'm actually gonna see if I can't find the yellow brick road that would take me behind that aircraft. In fact, I need to get on it. Uh, let's see, and I said I was going to take off on O3. Okay, so luckily I'm headed in the right direction. As you can see, 3 is on the right side on that sign, so I'm going to stay on the right of the airport, and the map helps me. All right, so we just got rid of the map. And lo and behold, I cannot remember to shut that map off when I finish with it. It doesn't go away by itself. All right. So I anticipate being in the air roughly an hour. Good weather, good temperatures, and this is the Thranda Wilga. And if I take my eye off the runway even for a second, I seem to lose my way. Whoa, okay. Okay. I want to show you my taxi, and as you can see, I almost lost it. And again, differential braking here, steering, I mean. And as you can see, looks like I'm going slightly uphill, and my altimeter, excuse me, my my altimeter is picking up a few feet. All right, so we are almost there. Now we are in Colorado, and the Rocky Mountain High. I should dub in a tune by John Denver, but YouTube would demonetize my video if I do that. So I'm not right, but I can sing it. Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. Okay, that's enough of that. Uh, so so shall we do a mag check? They got this big, pretty run-up area, so let's do a quick mag check. It wouldn't hurt us. Oftentimes, I just forego doing any semblance of a run-up. All right, so let's set our brake. And brakes. I don't see anything moving when I do anything with the brakes. Might be a lever up under the seat. Let's see. Uh, let's just look. Okay, what is this right here? Let's see if that thing moves. Nope. Brakes are on. Okay. RT FM. Maybe one day. All right. Now let's do a run up. All right. So we're gonna throttle up to 2,000. And mag 1. Right mag. Looks good. Left mag. Looks good. Suction is between the tip marks. Should be roughly about between 4.4 and 5.5. So it's definitely in that range. And we'll cycle the prop, and it falls, as do RPMs. And we'll do that twice. Make sure that that we don't get any oil on the windshield. All right, and then lastly, we'll turn on our pitot heat so that now what I'm looking for is my amperage, and I'm expecting it to change, and it did. And we also do the same with our landing light. So landing light. Okay. Yep. So I'm good. Bring that back down to roughly 1,000. Check my temperatures. I'm looking good. Gas is good. oil and pressure is good. So yes, I am pretty good. My exhaust temperature looks like it's pretty high, but hey, I'm at pretty high altitude, so I guess it needs to burn pretty hot to produce the power that I need. I'm just applying logic to that. Don't know if that's correct or not. All right, so let's release the brakes and and I could be making calls. Durango traffic. Uh, I told you I was gonna forget the call sign. Durango traffic. Wilga 7556 whiskey is lining up and taking off runway 03 Durango. All right, so let's make sure nothing is coming. I'm gonna turn on my labels so I can see if anything is on final. Make sure nothing is down here. Looks good. And back this guy out so I can see what's going on. Okay, make sure I got my flaps in, turn my strobes on, my landing lights on, and taxi off. Got plenty of runway, but like I said, there is some density altitude. I got a lot of gas and we heavy. Well, 2 souls on board. All right. And I can feel the density. All right. Airspeed's alive. And rotate. Should have rotated at 55. I should have rotated at 60. But I'm off. Trim for that 500 feet per minute. Okay. I'm 300 feet above the runway, so I can pull in that flap. Put my nose right there on the horizon and trim for it. And we want 33 and a half on our head bug. So we turn to that. Now even though I got a head bug, I don't have any autopilot in this aircraft. And Telluride is west of Durango, so I am gonna fly on even thousands, but I'm VFR, so it's gonna be something 500. Let's climb to 8,500. I think we'll be okay there. And we want to be able to see that railroad track, or let's see, or yeah, there is a river. We want to be able to see that river, like the railroad track actually track right next to the river. So the railroad track is what we're looking for. I mean the railroad track and on the river. All right, so let's pull this prop back, get out of the red. Let's keep it at 4. Let's check our engine cylinder head temp. So we're now in what I would consider our climb configuration. And 100 plus to go. 100 to go. And level that nose out. Use our trim to take some pressure off. Pull our prop back to about 23. And you can see how speed has helped gain a considerable amount of speed. All right, so let's try to stay on the head, everyone. And hey guys, we almost doing 100 knots. Gotta love it. Looks like it ain't much fast about this aircraft. Now, I'm thinking the 85. Actually, 85, you gotta remember, our destination airport is at 9,000, so I'm actually 500 feet below where I need to be, and I didn't put any oxygen on board, so I can't fly so high even if I wanted to. All right, so let's go ahead and make that climb up to 10.5, because I can see the terrain coming up at us. All right, and I never did pull back my prop. All right, so we're 500 feet above the terrain, so we definitely need to make a climb. And we have no tolls whatsoever. Our tolls is looking out the window. Our terrain warning awareness system. So I see this dip here, and I'm between here rather than across the mountains here. I think I cross here because it just looked lower. And gee whiz, I don't want to stop flying at 85, do I? All right, so let me I'm gonna go rich a little bit. Okay, here I am for rich, and let me pour back on you can see that the mixture being poured out as I monitor my cylinder head temp and see where it peaks. Okay, so it's peaked, and I think I'm gonna go rich. So it didn't change very much. All right, see that working at trim wheel. That's one thing I do like about this aircraft. I never did turn my transponder on. Bad kind of. Okay. So maybe tough getting 10.5 out of this guy. Now see water. Let's see a riverbed. Let's see the river. So what I'm gonna do is follow that river. Actually, look more like a stream, doesn't it? All right, let's see if we can't spot the railroad tracks. I'm thinking there are railroad tracks down there somewhere. Let's try this, see what happens. Okay, that worked. And all right, so I see the river winding. Okay, let's see. Okay. Can't discern railroad tracks. But I'm thinking the 10.5 maybe a little aggressive. I don't know. Keep an eye on the airspeed. Remember, you can stall an aircraft at any altitude, or I don't want to stall. Okay, so I got the river in sight, and unless I see a train, actually I'm not even seeing cars, let alone a train. But we're almost at altitude. Okay, there's a car. 100 to go. All right, this time I'm gonna pour back a little bit on the power, and then I'm gonna adjust my prop. Pour back on the power just a little bit, trim it down, and find that river. So there might be a lot of S-type turns in this flight. Okay, so I'm high enough to get over where I can take a good look down, and there's my river. We're gonna trim. Try to get that extra altitude trimmed off. Take a gander over here so I can see. And let's take the river all the way up here, and it looks like the river's gonna go through this valley here, so I'm good. I used to have my real life flight instructor always says that when you're flying VFR, so that you don't have to fixate on the instruments, then get your sight picture for your pitch and find a spot to fly to. And that should keep you from having to spend a lot of time looking out the window. So if I could take me out, well, it's harder to do in the mountains because the terrain dips, and it's harder to find a sight picture in the mountains because the terrain dips and moves. But otherwise, that trick can really work. All right, so I'm 24. Just take a little bit more off that propeller, and I am in cruise now. So let's turn these landing lights out and see what our temperature is at this altitude. See if it changed any. Okay, look like it's about 38 degrees Fahrenheit, or about 8, maybe 5 degrees Celsius, between 85 and 80 degrees Celsius. Let's get back in the seat. So this is the Wilga, and as you can see, this is not an aircraft that you want to make long flights in. And I really need to get down to my altitude now. So if you look at my airspeed, I'm what, 65 knots? So let's see if we can't add a few P's to the pot. That's what I say when I'm on the highway, you know, and I call each additional mile a P. So if I'm running 80 miles and I'm on cruise control and I want to run 81, I say, let me add another P to the pot. Go figure, that's just something I do. Anyway, I do want to fly a little bit faster than 65 knots. So I'm adding power to the prop. I'm adding power to the constant speed prop, because I don't like where I had trimmed it. All right, so because I added a bit extra power, she want to climb. So what I want to do is trim off this back pressure. And it is really hard to find a sight picture. But as you can see, the terrain is actually above the aircraft, so it's important now that I stay in this valley. See, so you can see that trim wheel. See me dialing it down, and I dial it down and let a little pressure off to see how she want to climb, and do that again, and she should speed up. And right now it's oscillating, so I'm trying to manipulate the stick to deal with oscillations. Now, quick glance at the iPad shows me that I want to bear to my right. I'm pretty good in trim now, finally. As you know, turning can often cause you to lose a little lift. But if I make this turn real gently, then I may not have to add the back pressure. And even this turn, I'm losing, what, almost 20 feet a minute. And I'm hoping to make that back up once I straighten up. So now I'm gaining that 20 feet a minute back. And let me make sure that I can see my river. And there it is. Whoop, there it is. So I'm at 10.5, and I am lower than the terrain. If I went to 12.5, I wouldn't be at, well, if I went to 12.5, then I would be just on the edge of needing oxygen. And if I could get up to 14.5, then I would definitely need some oxygen. So this, my friends, is what bush flying is really all about. All right, so let me turn on these my backlights for these gauges. I forget how dark they can look on the screen, so just turn them up a little bit. This is with them on, and this is with them off, and I'm sure that you prefer them turned on. I couldn't even find the aircraft for the first 3 seconds. Looks like the stream has a little bit more water in it than it did. And, you know, that could very well be railroad tracks. I see 2 parallel lines in the middle of it. So, and I'm only a few hundred feet above the ground. In fact, at some point, I may be forced to do a climb, whether I want to or not. All right, so when you're flying, there's always something you should be doing. All right, so let's check our gauges and make sure that our aircraft is happy. Okay, so we go left and right, airspeed, artificial horizon, altimeter, compass, and vertical speed indicator, electronic gyroscope, what's this thing called? Turn coordinator. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Electric turn coordinator. And RPMs look okay. About 23, so that's good. All my temperatures are in range, so the exhaust gases are high, but you know, the air is real bit thinner than this aircraft is used to. My boost pressure looks okay, and temperature gauges appear to be working as expected. Now, can you imagine actually flying through here in real life? Man, I bet it is gorgeous. One thing that I don't have to worry about in the sim, that I might have to be concerned about in real life, and that would be power lines. You know, of course, they've got power all over the mountains because people would build any and everywhere, and they want to hook up to the grid. So you got to string these power lines up and flying through here. Unless you knew the terrain, then chances are you would probably fly into a power line. So you know, you wouldn't take a flight this low unless you've done it before with someone experienced in this, and you know exactly what altitudes you can fly at. You know, So anyway, I think you get the point about power lines. So ForeFlight has already advised me about my destination ASOS. I think we got that dialed in already. It's giving me 118.32. And did I not dial that in? I guess I didn't. I don't see it on this radio. So let's dial it in. Let's flip it and see what happens. 1238. I thought I put that in. And let's turn on the comm and monitor. Now, I'm not getting anything. So let's go back. 118.32 is what I'm seeing. Where did I get 1238 from? All right. So let's get that dialed in. 1238. So let's get the 8 dialed in. And 1, 2, 3. Oh, duh. That ain't what I want. All right. Shucks. 118.32. All right. So let's get 118 dialed in. And then 0.32. All right. And let's trim up just a hair. And let's flip that in.
Telluride RGN Elway. Wind
Calm.
visibility 4 10. Sky clear. Temperature 10. Dew point -2. Altimeter 3039.
All right, so it's about the same.
Telluride RGN.
So I got the timer set at 3030, and it's only changing to 29 since I'm analog. Probably no need to try to adjust that. All right, you can tell I'm getting near some civilization. I got to pop into my ForeFlight app to keep a idea of where I'm at. Let's see, now where am I? Okay, so there I am. Still on the orange, and I want to bear off to the left here and follow the river to the left. Talk about some tall peaks, guys. Now, for some of you guys, you go, well, these 13,000-foot peaks are nothing, but for me, I'm in central North Carolina in real life, and the mountains in my neck of the woods top out roughly at about 6,800. Mount Mitchell is the tallest mountain. But the terrain looks like it's coming up at me. Where's my river? Where is my river? I gotta turn around because I missed the turn here. So let's see if we can't hug this side of the mountain. And go ahead and make a turn. Watch my airspeed so I don't stall. All right. Whew, that was scary. All right, there's my river. And where did my river go? All right, so I see the river. Okay, I need to look at the ForeFlight app. Like I need to go down a few miles. I'm right here. You can see the river. It went over here, and I went up. So I was going up towards the fire tower. So yeah, I need to. Looks like I need to get on that. Let's see. I'm sitting right here, so I need to go to the left. So yeah, I need to go over here. All right. Get my altitude back up. Let's see. I should be at what, 885, and this thing looks like I'm at 11, going up around 11. Did I pick up that much altitude? Yes, I did. It says so on the ForeFlight app. All right. Okay, now, I'm still going the wrong way. If I look at ForeFlight, I'm headed over this way, and I need to be headed the other way. So, I see a gap up there. I'll make a turn around in that gap. And bad pallet. All right. And I need to get back down to my altitude was supposed to be 85. The terrain is so high. Well, no, 10.5. Okay, yeah. I decided to increase my speed to 10. I mean, my altitude to 10.5 because my airport is at 9. All right, so let's see if we can make this turn. Let's turn around here in this canyon. I mean, not canyon, but you guys know what I mean. All right, that was successful. Really worried too much about that because it looked like I had plenty of room. All right, let's get back up to 10.5. So, I'm gonna pitch for 60. That's 60. And I think the river that we want is going to go between these two mountains here. All right, I'm pitched for 60. Let me use that trim to take some of that back pressure off. $200 to go. So often doing these type flights can feel like it's taking a lot of time. For me as PIC, since I'm occupied, I'm doing things, then I can't feel the time. I'm sure. Well, I know. Let's see if we can get level here. And we're going to go up this valley. So when we hit this opening, we just took the wrong fork. But I know that there are some people streams who I can turn on and watch, some people videos, I mean, that I can turn on and watch the whole thing, and then there's some who I can only watch a portion of it. Looking at my stats, looks like for the most part, with you guys, look like I'm one of the ones who most of you can only watch a portion of it. Oh man, am I going? Yeah, I'm going up the river that I want. All right, so let's get rid of this map here and get the river in sight. Yeah, so given my YouTube stats, for the most part, you guys tend to average on most of my videos about 5 to 15 minutes before you give it up. And I get it. See, let's find that river down there. Okay, there's no river that way. I don't see a river that way either. Judging on the fourth flight, I look like I should be going this way. It looks like I should still be on the river. But I just got the one that I'm only 500 feet above terrain. Okay, so this may be a river bed here. This may be more of a stream. You know, I can't really tell. But we are committed, and it looks like I can get the Telluride just on if I turn to the left through this pass here. So just pop my map back up. So I'm right here. So if I turn to the left, and let's see, what do you guys think? Okay, there's a river here, and yeah, I'm gonna turn to the left there because going straight up doesn't look like it's a good idea. And I'm actually at 11.5 now, so I'm 1,000 feet above where I should be, and about standing here. Full power, and let's get turned around.
Sync rate, sync rate.
Okay, let's turn this way. Well, I bet driving through these mountains is just an incredible experience. It's like the same canyon that I just came out of. It is. Let's turn back around. Build up some airspeed here. I don't see a turn over there. I see it on the fourth flight map. But this is called Red Mountain Pass. Okay, now I'm headed south, and I'm going to turn back to the north and try Red Mountain Pass again. So I'm going to hug the mountain here. All right, got good airspeed. And let's make this turn. That's 180. And the Wilga beast. All right, and we made it. Okay, so this time we're going to go straight up the pass, and we're going to try to milk as much power out of this guy as we can get, because we may need 500 feet. I'm not sure what we are going to need, but it's going to be tight. Rocky Mountain High. So this cut that I'm on now, pop the map back up, and you can see between these two black lines is the pass. So, and I'm milking her for every ounce of altitude I can get. If I start getting giddy, then you guys know to call search and rescue, because that means I'm probably getting a little hypoxia, lack of oxygen. Now she'll be all right until about 13 or 14, in fact. But I didn't want to climb that high. They're power lines. Check them out, y'all. Cool. So at least we know that some are modeled in this area. All right, so I'm gonna try and level off at 12, even though that's not the appropriate altitude for VFR. But I'm having to balance safety. I'm having to use all my tricks to get up here. All right, so at this point, we've gotten through the pass, so our terrain should be dropping away from us. Okay, so we're here to check. Stop. Let's arrest our altitude gain. So we're going to pick up some airspeed. And as you can see, best laid plans. I hadn't planned to come through this way at all, but my new route is going to be just to follow the highway all around, and hopefully until I can get a cut through. Man, I would love to drive through these mountains. I love mountains, and just to drive through them, with 13,000 foot peaks, and that would be for me the destination. All right, let's pull this prop back just a touch, and let's try to continue our descent. It's nice to be able to breathe a sigh of relief, because climbing through that pass, that felt pretty hairy to me. In a world where there is Microsoft Flight Sim, I continue to assert that I don't think X-Plane do that bad of a job. All right, so like I am picking up some condensation on the windows. At least I'm thinking I'm seeing more than I did. I didn't open my freeze panel. Incidentally, that's what my fuses are. Okay, so let's turn this guy. That's the foot. Let's turn this all the way up and turn the fan on and see what happens. Work that trim. I keep wanting to pull the power back to lose altitude, but I don't want to fly at 60 and 70 knots. So I'm thinking about doing a few more streams. I think if I stream, rather than use the YouTube platform for streaming, I'll go back to using the Twitch platform for streaming. The reason why is there's such a long delay when you guys visit me during the stream that by the time, if let's say you pop in and you type hi right now, and I'm going on about my merry little way, and it could literally be up to 3 minutes before I see your hi pop in, and oftentimes by that time I moved on to an entirely different conversation. All right, so let's bring up our map here. Oh, my map is up. My bad. I bring up the map and forget to put it down. But I think I am at 11.5. Roughly, I think I'm going to arrest my descent here, stay at 11.5, and get over this terrain. I think I want to get over it and work my way back down. I'm actually in, I should be in Telluride's airspace, at least a transition space. So find that point to fly to. So you can see why the Wilga is an aircraft that you want to be able to enjoy flying and not be in a hurry to get there, because it's not going to take you there in a hurry. It's just not. So yeah, I don't know if I ever finished the thought that I was espousing on about streaming, but yeah, because of the long delay, then I think I would stream on Twitch. My Twitch channel is Virtual GAA, or Virtual Golf Alpha Alpha, which is, of course, you guys know by now, that stands for Virtual General Aviation Aviator. And let's get rid of this map. Don't need it. It's disturbing your view. So some of that, well, I'm trying to determine how much, if any of that condensation went away. Let's get another ATOS.
Telluride RGN limit. Wind light and variable. Visibility more than 10. Sky clear. Temperature 10. Dew point -2. Altimeter 3039.
Okay, so the winds have picked up slightly. The winds were calm, and now they're light and variable. So they may have some changes on the horizon. Some weather changes on the horizon. Or they may stay light and variable for the rest of the evening. So yeah. So if any of you guys do monitor Twitch, then if you leave me a comment, then I'll be more than happy to try to post a 24-hour notice before I stream, just in case you want to join me. Okay, so let's look for a pass through here, and I don't see anything that these mountains can really look deceiving. So there's a road there. Don't really see a pass through here. And nope, after looking, expanding the map, that's not going to work. I thought maybe I could get up here and see this dark brown right here. It just ain't going to happen. It just ain't going to happen. So looks like we may wind up having to go all the way around. That's what it looked like to me. So maybe when I post this video, I would speed it up so that rather than being real time, at least the Enroute portion, maybe I speed it up to 3 times so that it may be worth watching without having to watch it in real time. I'm cognizant of your time. I feel you guys, and I appreciate you guys. Those that go, hey, I enjoy just watching the scenery roll by and listening to you meander on about whatever conversational items you're going to meander on about. I know some of you guys like that, but for the most part, I think people don't. And I guess, to be honest with you, most of my videos are for those of you who do. All right, so I'm at 11.5. Telluride is at 9. So I am going to start my descent. Not so much into Telluride yet, but it's probably a good safe bet to go ahead and start that descent. And as you can imagine, I'm always checking in on my GPS, so I'm way up here, and I can actually go ahead and turn and come down here. I don't have to stay in this bright yellow part. I can stay in this darker part as long as I keep my altitude sufficiently high. All right, so that's the plan. All right, so yeah, I'll be happy to post 24-hour, or if you're interested, maybe I can just set a schedule. Maybe I can go once a week between starting at this time. I'm going to stream on Twitch, maybe for an hour or 2 or 3, and you can join me when and if you want, and hopefully you will. The other thing that I'm happy to tell you guys about is that I secured the domain name xplane12.club. I may do something with it, and I may not. I also have the domain name flight sim. Let's see. Let's get down. Let's change out to 500 now. I also got flight sim support.com, and the idea with that domain is to build a flight sim peer-to-peer support community, kind of like they have on xplane.org and flightsim.org. The differences that what would make mine unique and different is having one place where you can go and get support for all 3 sims. And when I say all 3 sims, I'm talking Microsoft Flight Simulator, Prepara 3D, and okay. 1,000 to go. It's a pattern attitude. Okay, I see Telluride. And let's make a call. Telluride traffic. Telluride traffic. Wilga 7556 Whiskey is inbound 3 miles from the south. Straight in, and we think we'll do a left downwind for runway 27 Telluride. Alright, so let's bleed off this 500 feet to get down to pattern. Let's see, well, no, we're at pattern now because the airport's at 9,070, and so we actually need to level off and actually stay at 10,000 or 9,500 is what we see. Want to stay 1,000 feet above. So yeah, 10,000. It's going to be our pattern. So let's let's trim this guy up, get rid of this back pressure. Traveling at about 60 knots, so we're pretty slow. Telluride traffic, Wilga 7556 Whiskey is on left downwind, runway 27 Telluride. Right. So that condensation on our windows start to clear it up a whole lot, at least on my side. Right. All right, let's do a glance check. Okay, gas, fuel pump come on. All right, lights, landing light is on. Strobes are on. Undercarriage is required, not applicable. Mixture. And we are going for rich and prop. All right. That's not your flaps. And Telluride traffic. Wilga 7556 Whiskey is turning left base, runway 27 Telluride. Probably too high. If I can see the strip, then I can tell. And it's gonna be a short founder, and I am too high. So I'm dropping like a rock here. Telluride traffic. Wilga 7556 Whiskey is on short founder, runway 27, full stop. Telluride. 500. Okay, 4 flaps. And what our plan is to get down, straighten out, and float. Since we got so much runway, we should be able to do some serious floating now. The runway is not perfectly flat. So here we'll start our float. We'll hold it off, hold it off. Ooh, we are down. Didn't mean to be down, but that Telluride traffic Wilga 7556 Whiskey is back taxiing to the ramp, runway 27 Telluride. Yeah, didn't mean to get down. This aircraft, I can't get the sight picture. It's higher than I keep thinking that I got another 5 or 6 feet before I touch down, and I keep touching down consistently. And I called myself, was trying to keep it high. But we are safely here at Telluride. 2 souls on board, and we both are alive. So it's a good day. Telluride traffic. Wilga 7556 Whiskey is clear of the runway Telluride. All right, so let's clean up here. We got our flaps in, FLTT, flaps, light, transponder, and trim. All right, so flaps in, lights, strobes off, landing lights on, taxi light on, beacon is still on, transponder, and we'll just put that on ground, the equivalent of ground, and then trim it for the next flight, and we'll taxi to parking. Telluride traffic 7566 Whiskey is taxiing to parking. Telluride. Didn't have to make that call, but get on this brick road. Yellow brick road. Let's see if there are any parking spaces back there. Just go off this way. And take this first one here. Since we got short wingspans, we can put it right beside the yellow brick road. Come on, guy. Go straight. All right, let's see how we did. Not too bad. Well, not too good either. All right. Let's see what we do. Well, that helped a little bit. All right. So we can adjust it with the tug. All right. So that can go off. All this stuff can go off. And avionics off. Alternator is off. Taxi and lights are off. Should set our brakes. Brakes are set. And fuel pump can go off. And let's dial these lights down, and master can go off. All right, and we are there, and get her tied down and open all doors and close them. All right. I don't like using the cover. Let's see. What does the cover up? Okay, well, I don't mind using the cover as long as it doesn't cover up my windshield. Okay. All right. And we could take the electric tug and park it properly if we wanted to. So might as well take a second to look at the landing. These wheels a little bit higher than I'm used to being, but I was so high on approach that I literally had to drop like a rock. So I actually did thought about doing a forward slip, but I figured, well, I could probably I'd be okay if I just held come in and hold it off. And I think after looking at the landing, I think what happened was with my airspeed and the type wing this is just not a floater. It looked like it just ran out of lift. If you can see that, it looked like it's, I guess. All right, so you'll see where I get here. Ah, shucks. And you see me just run out of lift, which is why I had the hard landing, and that tells me why I've been having hard landings on this aircraft. I still got the tie downs on it. Let me take those off. I know I was seeing something. I couldn't quite figure out what they were. All right, and, but you see it run out of lift about right here. Well, it looked like it was a nice smooth landing, but we know better. All right, guys, enough of this. So I do appreciate you guys riding along with me, and until next time.
Y'all come back now. Cheers.